Listen, if you're a beginner trader, here are the top 7 strategies that many people use in order to be profitable. And instead of you having to memorize it all from scratch and burn brain cells and figure out, when it's happening and things of that nature, this one tool positions you to have all of them. But don't worry about having to know all of them. Find the ones that you know work for you, or the ones that you want to test out. And once you find the ones that you like the most based on profitability and high probabilities, then use that over and over and over again. But they all work together hand in hand. Now, this is coming from a beginner, but I'm starting to gain confidence and be very profitable from a demo trading standpoint. But I know that sometimes the best person to share insight is the person who's also learning, just because I'm not too far removed from not understanding what a candlestick was and being able to see and pay attention to, oh, it's likely to go up because of this. And then it tells me when to buy, when to sell. I feel like I'm equipped to position you to get access to this tool. That being said, if you want access to the tool, you know what to do, so do what you know. It's a link down below. But I want to point out these 7 things just so you can see, which ones align with you, because it's a good chance that you probably already tried some. You might be familiar, but if you're brand spanking new, then that's perfect as well, because you knowing when to buy, when to sell is the main thing that you need. And then you learn and build on top of what you know. You start with one thing that you understand and build on top of that, and then lo and behold, you'll start realizing, oh, it's starting to make more sense, and it positions you for profits. But let's look at it. I won't even get too deep into going into a trade. I just want you to see all of the things that are on the screen. And of course, you can remove them, add them, things of that nature. But it's good to have, so that way as you're learning, you know how it's helping you make a decision on when to buy, sell, and or take profits, or enter at the right time. So let's look at this chart real quick, shall we? So I want you to see a couple of things that's happening. I know it might look busy, and on the laptop it looks even clearer, but what you understand is it lets you know when to buy based on the buy signals, and when to sell. And when you have an A+ setup, you'll know exactly when to buy, sell based on the 4 metrics. I'll share that on the back end, but I just want you to see a few things. So the red line and the green line gives you the trend or the direction that the trade is happening based on whatever time frame you're in. Obviously, time frames matter. The higher time frames give you a more solid glimpse of what's actually happening, but all of these translate to each and every time frame, so you can know when it's a good time to buy, no matter what the time frame is, no matter what the asset class is that you're trading. So that's that. It also lets you know when it's a good time to pivot. So even though you got a buy signal here and it actually went up, for those who took advantage of that, probably made some profits, it also lets you know, hold on, it's starting to reverse in this time frame and started heading downward, and position people to make money on both sides. That's very important. It also has the ability to let you know, even if you don't switch times on the charts, what has happened over the past hour. And it lets you know, oh, it's been more bearish, heading down on the hourly based on this time frame. Then what has happened in the past 4 hours, and you can see what has all taken place during that 4-hour time frame. Very important. It also lets you know the previous day high, previous week open, previous day close, current day open, because sometimes these price points get revisited over time. Also, these lines here represent moving averages, and it's certain things that happen when certain moving averages cross over one another. Of course, it gives you the take profit points, the part where it makes sense for you to stop your loss and things of that nature. And it gives you certain areas where it's likely to break out. The last thing I want to show you is the orb strategy. A lot of people love the orb strategy, and that typically happens at the open range at the beginning of the day. So these purple lines represent the orb. What happened when it broke out of that particular box that it was trading in earlier this morning. So as you can see, around 7 o'clock, you start getting some motion, and typically it's the first 15 minutes, give or take. But once it broke out of that box, it hasn't returned to that box all day. And this is the MNQ, which is the mini NASDAQ. So for those who trade the orb strategy, you probably made a ton of money just by paying attention to where it broke out, and has been pretty much bullish every since then. So those are just, some to name a few. It might look busy to you, but I just want you to understand the power in this, and knowing, okay, If I have the 4 things that align, my daily bias matches whatever the signal is, which matches whatever the trend is, and if it's money and momentum in the market, I have an 80% success rate of being profitable. I promise you, it used to look crazy and like gibberish to me, but the more I look at it, the more it starts to make sense and the more confident I get. And even if you don't remember anything and you just want a good, clean chart with not a lot of stuff, the option is available, but it lets you see everything that's happening. And all you have to focus on is getting A+ setups, having the 4 metrics that match. And here's what that looks like. Daily bias, sell signal, you want some red momentum or red trend, and then green momentum that would represent an A+ setup. And the same is true on the buy side, but so everything being red, it will flip and you will want green bullish daily bias, green buy signal, green trend, green momentum bar, and you're off to the races with an A+ setup that you can have confidence in trading. Of course, you'll learn more along the way, but if you want access to this tool, it's a link available below, because you got to understand that the transfer of wealth is happening. The question is, are you going to be in position to get some of the wealth that's being transferred? Mr. Smith signing out. Salute. So this is what I mean by looking for A+ setups. I said it because I wanted you to see how it looks on the screen. It's in, a couple of different places. But an A+ buy setup, you want everything to be green. A high probability of the market going up, also known as going long. Green buy signal. So you'll see the green buy signal, which is the indicator that prints a green buy signal. So you want to see that. You want to see a green bullish bias. Remember, I showed you the bias in the upper right hand corner. It's either going to say bullish, bearish, or neutral. If it's neutral, you don't do anything. You just wait. Patience is key in trading. Patience brings wealth in trading. So you look for a green bullish bias, which lets you know that the market has been going up. That's the bias. That's the nature of the market at the time. You look for a green trend bar. That's the wavelengths that I showed at the bottom of the screen. You want that to also be green. And then you're looking for a green power line. Power line that is green and horizontal basically says money is in the market right now at this time. Come get some. It's so many words. Once all those 4 things have been checked, consider that an A+ buy setup. So it's a higher probability. Real simple. Real simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. For A+ sell setup, what you're looking for is, pretty much the opposite. Minus one thing, being identical. You're looking for a red sell signal. You're looking for a red bearish bias. You're looking for a red trend bar. And you're also looking for the green power line as well. That lets you know money is in the market. You want liquidity. You want to be able to get money out of the market at the right time, strategically, and rinse and repeat. This is an example of what an A+ setup is based on these 4 things being in position once you have everything set up, once you get access to the group. Now, I'm going to go over real quick what's in the group so that way you understand what you're getting, and then let me know if you got any questions, anything you want me to clarify on, so that way I can incorporate it in other videos, and I know it can help others as well.